if you go there and negotiate any other thing apart from Biafra, you better not come back, because our people will be waiting for you, that very person, unquote. When he was asked about the consequence for this representative, including one Ike Nwanchuku, the defendant was unequivocal when he said, things have changed, and that because the only language that people in the zoo understand is language of violence and force. After all, that very contraction was put together by Frederick Lugard by force. That is what many people don't understand. Lugard killed many people to put Nigeria together, and the killing of people to disintegrate the zoo shouldn't come to anybody as a surprise. Our promise is very simple. If they fail to give us Biafra, Somalia will look like a paradise compared to what will happen to the zoo. It is a promise. It is a pledge. Also a threat to them. They must understand it, that we have had enough of this nonsense. Unquote. It is not noteworthy that defendants in the said interview kept referring to the southeastern part of Nigeria as Biafra. The defendants made some comments, such as the governor of the southeastern state being the stooge of Hausa Fulani godfathers. He even stated that Rochas Okorocha, former governor of Imo, had institutionalized the entire state to satisfy his Hausa Fulani godfather. He said nobody had asked Governor Peter Obi about Izu River and the person dumped in the said river. Further, during the interview, defendants, while answering a question about whether he will embrace a peace separation or choose a violent path, stated at about 7 minutes 30 second mark of Sahara TV interview in Exhibit PWW, which is a flash drive containing all its broadcasts, said, and I quote, "If they do not give us Biafra, there will be nothing living in that very zoo called Nigeria. Nothing will survive there, I can assure you," unquote. He also made reference to the Nigeria Civil War when he said, in 1967 to 1970, it's not 2010 to 2015. Then we had scientists, but now we have people who can make things happen even better than what we had in the late 60s. So that should ring a warning that we are not joking. 8 minutes mark in the flash. He said, "I do not believe in peaceful actualization of whatever rubbish is called. I have never seen where you will become free by peaceful means," unquote. The defendant also lent support for violent acts when he said he welcomed what a group known as Biafra Zionist group did when they unleashed violence at the Enugu State Government House. He even said he hoped more people will come out to join his group to overthrow the corrupt and inept persons in administration of the government, stating that Biafra must exist and it is their right to make sure it happens. In the broadcast of 16th May 2021, also contained in Exhibit PWW, the defendants in the beginning of the broadcast stated thus, "My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television. I will remain a loyal servant of the people of Biafra." He further stated around 51 minutes mark, and I quote, "If God is on our side, which I know he is, the army of Nigeria will die in Biafra land. Everybody will die. I will be the one leading it. By God's grace, everything called Nigeria will perish in Biafra land. The world must be prepared for what is to come. I want to let Katrina Lungs and the British government to know that we have chosen the path of death, and people are dying every day. We have to develop the mindset of after this, which even though NATO is there, NATO is there. We say that we are ready to die, and everyone that comes to kill us will die also, because things will start happening in the next 14 days. In the next 2 weeks, the slaughter will begin to happen. You see those CNN that have refused to come to Biafra. We come by force to see what is happening. We will make sure that every Nigerian soldier on Biafran soil will die. God is my witness. I will lead this burial myself, unquote. Around 55 minutes mark to the exhibit, he said, and I quote, I want the United Government to understand that we are ready to die than be slaves, unquote. At about 1 hour mark, he said, and I quote, Israel was named Palestinians by the Romans because they were too stubborn. Go and ask how they did it. They bombed them, the Romans, away. Not these roadside bombs. Every road leading to Biafra will be man, landman. Everything that is Nigeria, whether it is police, army, will blow till the kingdom come. Very neat and simple. Very neat and simple, unquote. The defendant also stated in that same broadcast, and I quote, we are asking for our freedom, and they aren't listening. But when we start doing what we want, the whole world will start begging us, and then I will come out from wherever I am and tell them that it's too late. Throw away your phones. Remain incommunicado as we are in the state of war. It will not kill you to do away with your phones. All people should go into the bush and stop the advance of this army, or else they will kill you, unquote. These words spoken by the defendants in those broadcasts were not mere words, as they bear every traces of threats to harm people, including international representatives representing their nation in Nigeria. The said broadcasts were several in numbers, and defendants kept repeating his rhetorics that people will die if Biafra is not created. The defendant plan to commit the terrorist act did not only manifest in his broadcast, but was shown in a meeting he had with other Igbo people in the United States. At a World Congress, Igbo Congress meeting held at the 4 Points Hotel in Los Angeles, in the United States of America, as contained in Exhibit PWW, the defendant, while speaking to the audience, stated, and I quote, we must not miss this golden opportunity. We are bound to suffer in this time to come. You must come out to support what we are doing. We need guns, and we need bullets. I know we love life so much. Without it, Hausa will overrun us. They have succeeded in imposing Okoroshan on us. They are coming. Boko Haram is coming in Igbo land, unquote. A female participant stood up to ask the defendant of his objective, as well as why need for weapons. The defendant responded, and I quote, we now know that the best way to defend ourselves is to be armed, because Boko Haram is everywhere in zoo called Nigeria. So we need guns and bullets, and those of you in America will give it to us. Also, on the 22nd day of this month, something will happen called the blood moon. Most of you don't know. that just before the Civil War, there was blood moon. There was blood moon in 67, and it only happens once in a while, because after this year, we will be free, no matter what happened. If we don't get Biafra, everyone will live to die. We are not joking. His intention was quite clear. He believes only in violence as the solution to the creation of Biafra as a nation. And at the said World Igbo Congress, most of the participants were quite alarmed by the expressions as is planned, and so they kept asking if he had considered the option of peaceful dialogue, to which the defendant was adamant that only violence could lead to the achievement of his aim. These threats of violence are nothing but terrorist acts, which was duly carried out by his followers as will be seen later in this judgment. The defendant knew what he was doing while making these violent statements. He obviously had an objective, which one, the face of it is political. That is, secession of the state of Southeast, South-South, and some middle belt states from the Federal Republic of Nigeria to form Biafra. The defendant was also bent on achieving his objective with the use of violence, and he didn't mind if his own people die in that process. As one of the crucial elements in establishing crime, the intention and the knowledge with which the defendant carried out the acts can be expressed by him. If not so expressed, can be deduced from his conduct.